My name is Takoya Larry, and I interviewed Kelly Shannon, the Executive Director for Freedom of Information Foundation of Texas.
All right, well, the Texas Shield Law, which is also known as the Reporter's Privilege Law or the Free Flow of Information Act, it was passed by the Texas legislature in 2009. And what it does is it protects journalists from having to reveal their confidential sources or their notes in many situations, not all situations. But what this does is it allows the journalist to do his or her job better and dig up information that is important to the public. And it also protects that source that is revealing information to the reporter. So if a whistleblower is trying to let the reporter know about wrongdoing, that source is protected too. So it's good for the public.
Can you explain what an individual would have to do to be covered under the Texas Shield Law?
The Shield Law, it applies to journalists, reporters, and editors. And basically, kind of the test on that is if you spend a substantial portion of your working life or earn a substantial portion of your livelihood by working as a journalist. So, it's not just for every person out there necessarily who posts something on a blog, but it's somebody who really spends their time as a journalist trying to cover the news, trying to shed light on what's going on in our government or in our institutions of our society. So, you have to be really in that category to be protected by it. But as I was saying, it does help the public at large because as reporters, as journalists do their jobs, that reveals information that all of the rest of us in the public want to know as well.
I was not aware of the Texas Shield Law. So for the ones out there that know the Texas Shield Law under a different name, can you please verify the name or the names that's under that Texas Shield Law?
Yeah, it's also known as the Reporter's Privilege Law or the Free Flow of Information Act. And that Free Flow of Information Act, that name comes about because the idea is whistleblowers or other sources can freely share information with journalists. So it's a way for information to flow freely, and that helps the public at large. Texas, as I said, passed this law in 2009, and we're one of about 40 states that does have a form of a shield law. And our shield law, in certain situations, like if a journalist is aware of firsthand information about a crime being committed or that sort of thing, that journalist is not necessarily protected from revealing the information. So there's certain exceptions to it, but overall it does cover journalists. We don't have a federal shield law at this point, but that's something that's being worked on all the time, and we're waiting to see if under federal law a shield law comes about out of Congress. There are certain situations where it has help in local communities and local newspapers and television stations. We haven't had a really big statewide case that's got a lot of attention under the Shield Law, but it is helping out in particular communities, and that's what it was designed to do.
As long as it's working for what it was designed to work for, I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, it is a plus, and it just provides a lot more ability for information to be shared that's useful to the public.
Again, my name is Takoya Larry, and thank you for listening.